In Europe, recession now seems imminent. The International Monetary Fund has said that Germany and Italy are certainly going into a recession. These are among Europe's largest economic drivers. Their fall will trigger the slippage of other countries into degrowth as well. At the core of Europe's economic miseries is an intense energy crisis that countries are finding impossible to surmount. That's because Russia has played a pivotal role in supplying energy to Europe for many years. And now, the European Union has chosen to put an end to that dependence without figuring out a real way of replacing Russian supplies with those sourced from others. Russia, on its part, stopped supplying significant amounts of energy to Europe, and that's proving to be a perfect cocktail for disaster. The United States of America and its partner, the European Union, excitedly tried to punish Russia for its invasion of Ukraine with a barrage of sanctions. Russia was kicked out of the global financial systems and was deprived of crucial technologies needed across sectors. The West was sure its campaign to break Russia economically would yield results in no time, as Moscow would crumble under pressure. Instead, Russia's currency emerged as the world's best performer this year, and the country's economy showed astounding signs of resilience despite a brutal Western onslaught. Now, the IMF has admitted that Russia is performing better than Europe economically. First of all, the agency said that Russia's recession will be less severe than expected due to oil exports and relatively stable domestic demand. Then, it went on to revise Russia's economic performance. Mind you, in April, the IMF had said that Russia's economy would contract by 8.5% this year. Then in June, it said that the country's economy would contract by 6% instead. Now, the IMF is saying that Russia's contraction will be 2 times less than what was initially projected. For the year as a whole, the Russian economy is now forecast to contract only by 3.4%. That's not all. The 2023 numbers are even more promising for Russia. The IMF has said that Russia's economy will contract by 2.3% next year as opposed to its earlier projection of 3.5%. If these trends hold, Russia will begin scoring economic growth by 2024. Ukraine's economy, meanwhile, is forecast to contract by 35% this year alone. That's starkly in contrast to claims that Ukraine is even remotely winning the ongoing conflict. Vladimir Putin has been preparing for a Western economic onslaught for years now. His mission to insulate the Russian economy began after the annexation of Crimea in 2014. Now, Russia is in a position where domestic demand is proving strong enough to keep the economy running, while energy export revenues have become a pillar for the treasury in Moscow. Russia's headline inflation is sharply down from its peak, and according to the current activity indicator of Goldman Sachs, Russian activity is quite healthier than it is in big European countries. Many took the example of Russia's car industry to suggest that the sanctions against Moscow were indeed working. Now it has come to light that Russia's automobile output is bouncing back after falling to zero a few months ago. That proves that Russia has been able to source goods required by the automobile industry from alternative suppliers. According to The Economist, Russia's monthly goods imports now almost certainly exceed last year's average in dollar terms. That's a huge win for Putin. While Russia emerges out of economic disaster, Europe is headed straight into the mouth of one. So who do you think the sanctions actually hurt?